objectively speaking, on the whole, like almost every site would gain value out of using Mero, and we see that. So kind of regardless of the level of competency, let's say, or the level of data-driven decision making the company we're going to work with has, for the most part, we'll still propose it, but it depends how much we feature it, depending on their appetite for it, if you will. So to your point, we might have a property management company we work with that says, you know what, in fact, we love your brand, love your reputation, but we really got to be cost conscious here. So you got to kind of trim down the bells and whistles. Okay, we'll put it there to say, hey, we can still put this service in and we think it'll drive this value, but we understand if you don't want to kind of bear that burden, because someone's going to have to eat the cost. And when, as you guys know, when it gets tight, you got to kind of make some hard decisions. But for a property of this size, a portfolio of this size, of this prestige, knowing that Colliers is more data driven and moving that direction pretty quickly, relative to the industry, and that the ownership group is very very hands-on and very what am I trying to say? Very care a lot about the kind of the tenant experience and driving value to the building. For the most part, like, everybody is excited about technology. Everyone asks about this platform, and I can tell you the amount of calls I get asking me about it is like grown more. The more I talk to you guys, the more it grows, the more our competitors call us, the more buildings call us, the more our clients call us, and they want to know about the value add and so forth. So having a lot more of these conversations, they're obviously they're easier because they're coming to, like, we're telling about it, but they're coming to us saying, okay, we want to know more now, so explain. So the sell is a little bit easier. Like, they trust our service now, they trust our quality. We're not new suppliers, so they say, okay, if you say it's good, we trust you. But then it's figuring out the dollars and cents, and then that part is not a challenge, but naturally, again, in a business or an industry like ours and property management, where there's tighter margins, budgets go in at once a year, you have to kind of time it right to have those conversations and make sure it's factored in. So it's just a kind of a balancing act. I think Mero, like, it definitely helps with client satisfaction. I think at the end of the day, like, everyone knows, like, the operative word in the world is data, and a lot of industries have moved, are not at the forefront of that. They move very slow, and I think commercial real estate is catching up, but it's still very fragmented, still very distributed, still not the most transparent in terms of seeing what's happening in real time in properties. There's so many variables, so many moving parts. It's getting there, but I think this system, like the Mero sensors, are really helping kind of speed that along, because again, they're easier to implement. It's not a full retrofit of a building. It's not changing out the hardware and the infrastructure. You guys obviously were very involved in the implementation of this. From the award of the RFP, I don't remember exactly how long it took from start to finish, but I do recall that once we got the award of the RFP, we contacted you guys right away and said, when can we deploy? If I'm not mistaken, it was a lot of sensors, and if I'm not mistaken, it was a week, maybe two. I don't know. It's pretty quick turnaround between telling you about the award, getting ready. I think we took over the cleaning service, and I think within the first week, you guys were on site to deploy the sensors. I don't remember exactly how soon it was. It's been a few years, obviously, but I do know you guys, as always is the case. Well, you guys know, assuming there's no backlog in inventory, which I know there rarely is, you guys are pretty quick to kind of to kind of get everything together and deploy the sensor. So pretty smooth process.